to call a regular city commission meeting to order. Will you please rise with invocation, followed by the pledge of allegiance to the flag of our country. Commissioner Bennett.
Father God, thank you for today. Thank you for all your many blessings for our city and for our nation. Please watch over us, Lord, tonight as we come together and make decisions. Give us wisdom and watch over our staff and our first responders and keep them safe. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome all here this evening. First on the agenda tonight is our regular meeting minutes of May the 8th. They have been distributed. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none, we need a motion.
Move to approve the minutes.
I've got a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion carried unanimously. Second reading and public hearing, proposed ordinances. Ordinance 25-04.
Yes, sir. Ordinance 25-04, an ordinance of the City of Winter Garden, Florida, adding policy 1-1.2.19 and policy 1-1.2.20 of the future land use element of the Winter Garden Comprehensive Plan, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I know Kurt just read ordinance 25-04 for this presentation will be for all three ordinances, 04, 05, and 06. So as you know, the city has worked closely with the residents of the historic East Winter Garden neighborhood for years to help bring the community's vision to life. This effort was led to the East Winter Garden Plan, which was adopted in 2018 and updated in 2022, and this serves as a roadmap for development. One of its 5 big ideas is to increase homeownership and housing options while preserving the neighborhood's character. The current future land use and zoning regulations limit the city's ability to fully support this goal. To increase affordable housing options for existing residents, more flexibility is needed. For instance, allowing accessory dwelling units can provide housing for family members or generate rental income. These units help homeowners adapt to changing needs, build wealth, and introduce more affordable housing options without altering the neighborhood's character. Ordinances 25-04, 05, and 06 propose to add 2 new future land use categories for parts of the historic East Winter Garden neighborhood. These additions include a neighborhood residential category for the eastern areas, including the newly annexed areas. Base density remains at 2 to 6 dwelling units per acre, with up to 10 dwelling units per acre possible through a development bonus system. Housing will continue to focus on single-family units and complementary housing types that support age-in-place living. Neighborhood mixed-use category would encompass the west side, centered around 10th and Center Streets. This area already includes homes, shops, and civic uses. The new designation allows up to 10 dwelling units per acre by right and up to 20 via a density bonus, with small-scale commercial also allowed. This supports walkable mixed-use development and affordable housing. A community meeting was held on October 3rd, 2024 at Healthy West Orange, which had over 50 attendees. Feedback was largely positive, with the main concern being preservation of the neighborhood character. And to clarify, the 3 ordinances being discussed tonight do not change any land development regulations. They only amend the city's comp plan to allow for a future zoning overlay, which is still under review and in development, and will be brought forward to this board at a later time. The zoning overlay will include safeguards to help existing East Winter Garden residents build wealth and access to affordable housing options while preserving the character of the community and limiting gentrification driven by outside developers. So staff believes these amendments align with the East Winter Garden Plan and are an essential step towards achieving the community's long-term vision. And so with that, staff recommends approval and adoption of ordinances 25-04, 05, and 06.
Questions for the commission? And you addressed, I think, most of my concerns, but one's 100 acres. You currently have 413, I think, lots on it. The other one's 22.8 acres, and you've got 137, I believe, or something like that. So currently, we're about 4 units per acre in 100, and we're about 6 per acre in that. while we're driving towards, affordable housing or something, I guess, just, do we have safeguards in place that will keep people from buying up lots, building, whether it's 10 units per acre, or they can apply for up to 20 units per acre, next to single-family homes? And I guess that's my concern, not so much for today, but as we go forward. So you feel confident in that?
Yes, and those safeguards are all going to be laid out in detail in that forthcoming zoning overlay. It's going to be really geared towards, again, individual homeowners who already live in the community, just using this additional density to build affordable housing in their own communities and build wealth for their families. Any parcel over 1 acre in size will need to go through a planned development process. There'll be tons of oversight, and any development bonuses will be subject to this board's review and approval. So yes, there are tons of safeguards.
Good, thank you. Any other questions from the commission on 2504? We'll do each of them, since we've only read that one separately. Or you can ask all three of them now, obviously. Yeah.
You asked a lot of the questions I was concerned about.
Okay. This is a public hearing. We will open a public hearing if anyone wishes to speak. Yes, ma'am. Give your name and address, please, ma'am.
Good evening, my name is Dorina B. Davis, and on behalf of my mom, Joyce Brown, who lives at 1681 East Bay Street. And that was my concern with the ordinance 2505, going from low density residential to residential neighborhood. And it's like, is it gonna stay just residential? Are they trying to put, businesses in there? Are they trying to, buy out residents that are already, there? My family, third, fourth generation. So it's generational homes that are in, these communities. And, are you trying to move out these long-term residents with, buying up properties and putting 10, 20 houses on them? And what about property taxes? Are they gonna, start shooting up because of all of this? So those are some of my concerns with that ordinance. And what does, I guess, the difference between the low density residential to just residential neighborhood? So those are some of my concerns. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So most of the areas that are becoming the neighborhood mixed use, a lot of those areas already have future land use designations that would support kind of that mixed use. It has the residential, neighborhood, commercial kind of future land use. And so really what this would do is it just establishes that density bonus where if somebody wants to build some additional housing, they would have to go through a process. This would all be laid out in a future zoning overlay. So they would have a process where they could request that. But again, we're gonna put a bunch of safeguards in there to make sure that the reason why they're doing it is to address the community's concerns. When we first did the East Winter Garden Plan, one of the major aspects that the community kept telling us is that there needs to be more affordable housing options. And we're trying to thread that needle to make sure that the additional density is truly being used to provide the affordable housing that the community said that they needed. This is not supposed to be a giveaway to developers to come in and buy a bunch of land and put up a high-rise building. That is the opposite of what we're trying to achieve here. We're trying to make it easier and more flexible for people in the community to build those units, to build more affordable housing options for the community, to serve the community. And that's really the point of this entire change.
Anyone else? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing. There are no other comments from the commission. We need a motion on 2504.
Motion to approve ordinance 2504.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries unanimously. Ordinance 2505.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2505, an ordinance of the City of Winter Garden, Florida, amending the future land use map of the Winter Garden Comprehensive Plan by changing the land use designation of real property generally described as 100.5 plus minus acres generally located south of East Plant Street, east of 11th Street, west of Florida State Road 429, and north of East Maple Street from low-density residential and residential neighborhood commercial to neighborhood residential, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Anything to add? No?
Staff recommends approval.
Okay. Any questions? 2505? This is a public hearing. We will open a public hearing on ordinance 25-05 if anyone wishes to speak. Seeing none, we will close the public hearing. We need a motion.
Motion to approve ordinance dash 2505.
Do we have a second? We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Ordinance 2506.
Yes, sir. Ordinance 25-06, an ordinance of the City of Winter Garden, Florida, amending the future land use map of the Winter Garden Comprehensive Plan by changing the land use designation of real property generally described as 22.8 plus minus acres, generally located south of North Street, east of 9th Street, west of 11th Street, and north of East Maple Street from residential neighborhood commercial and institutional to neighborhood mixed use, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Anything with that?
Recommend approval.
Any questions, Commission, on this ordinance? Once again, this is a public hearing. We will open a public hearing if anyone wishes to speak. Seeing none, we will close the public hearing, and we need a motion.
Motion to approve ordinance 25-06.
Do we have a second? We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Ordinance 25-12.
Yes, sir. Ordinance 25-12, an ordinance of the City of Winter Garden, Florida, amending the Winter Garden Comprehensive Plan by adding a new property rights element, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. This proposed amendment would add a new property rights element to the city's comp plan. The state of Florida requires local municipalities adopt this property rights element in order to continue processing updates to their comp plans. The new element provides goals, objectives, and policies to confirm that the city respects judicially acknowledged and constitutionally protected private property rights, and private property rights are considered in the City of Winter Garden's decision making. So with that, staff recommends approval and adoption of ordinance 25-12.
Questions from the commission?
So essentially, we have to do this because the state's required.
Yep.
Okay.
That's all right.
Okay. Once again, this is a public hearing. We will open the public hearing if anyone wishes to speak. We will close the public hearing, and we need a motion.
Motion to approve ordinance 25-12.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. Regular business, recommendation approved traffic enforcement agreement. Chief.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Residents of Bradford Creek want to authorize the police department to conduct traffic enforcement within their gated community. The execution of this agreement is required for Florida state statute to give us authority to enforce civil infractions. I would note that when the HOA board reached out, they're concerned about parking situations, and there are a lot of people parking under the sidewalk, in the driveways, and they want some enforcement. Staff recommends approve and authorize the mayor to execute the traffic enforcement agreement. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions of the chief?
How big is that neighborhood?
It straddles both sides of the highway. It's not that huge. I'm not sure how many homes are in it.
I don't recall offhand.
At first I thought it was Brandy Creek, and I'm like, what? That's
No,
Bradford
it's
Creek.
Bradford
Makes
Creek.
more sense.
Yeah. Wage out there.
120 homes.
I don't say 130.
Oh, man.
Okay. And you can do it?
Yes, sir.
We need a motion.
Motion to approve the traffic enforcement agreement.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mayor.
Chief. Recommendation to approve state revolving fund loan agreement. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. The city currently has a state revolving fund loan for the design of the wastewater treatment plant, the upgrades and expansion. We've requested to extend this with the state to allow more time to incorporate some design activities. Staff would approve the extension of the SRF loan till August 15, 2025. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions from the commission?
So it's just till August 15th?
Yes, ma'am.
We're gonna
All the
do
charges
more
and stuff
time.
remain the same?
Just for the design.
Just for the
Design.
You
It
need
just-
August of 2027, that's okay.
If the state would do it.
It's to incorporate some changes that the contractors noticed on the plans, and then they'll actually reflect those in the drawings themselves.
Short extension. I'll make the motion.
Okay,
I'll second it.
have a motion to approve, we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Special event. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. This special event request is for the Winter Garden Community Choir Wine Walk. The Winter Garden Community Choir is requesting approval to hold their annual wine walk through downtown Winter Garden on Thursday, June 5th, 2025. Participants will visit different downtown merchants and taste wine and food. They're requesting to use the pavilion for registration to sign in and pick up local glasses. All wine tastings will be inside the merchant buildings. No alcohol is allowed outside. The event was set up at 5:30, breakdown by 9:15, with the event happening between 6:30 p.m. and 9 p.m. So with that, staff recommends approval of the wine.
Have they scheduled a time to sing at the theater?
Not that I'm aware.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Is that
But they
the
will.
wine walk?
I'm not
We'll
sure.
have to verify that.
I think it goes hand in hand with I think it'll be good, because they are good, we do enjoy them, and they have in the past, I just want to make sure that they, are gonna come out and perform in Winter Garden again.
You should.
Any questions? Need a motion?
Motion to approve the special event.
Second? Second. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. Matter of Citizens Winter Garden.
Good evening all. I'm Noreen Dorkin, Editor-in-Chief of Vox Populi, wintergardenvox.com. I was reading through the minutes of the April 23rd meeting, and I noticed that there was an error. And the only way, since the meeting minutes were already approved, the only way I know to make a correction to that is to state something on the record for this evening. Once I was done making my statement that evening, I took my seat, and then the mayor made some of his own comments, which was perfectly fine. He has the right to do that. But not all of his comments were reported in the minutes. The mayor took issue with the fact that people do not share his belief in God, and that was what he led his comments with, but those were not reflected in the minutes. And since that matter is important to the mayor, he led with that, and you always lead with your most important topic. That should be reflected in the minutes. So I just wanted to get that on the record. Minutes of this meeting should be correct and accurate. At Vox Populi, we try to have our reporting be accurate, so wanted to make sure that I got that on the record. So thank you very much.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening again. I did want to talk about 2505, which I spoke on earlier, but after hearing police chief about the enforcement of parking on the sidewalks. They are redoing the sidewalks in our area, and some of those will be pretty close to people's front doors. So, people are gonna start getting tickets for parking in their driveway because of, the easement, and it's they're still working through all of that. So, yeah, that was cause it's a lot. They're starting to do stuff on like my mom's street now, and I did speak with someone, at the county where they're trying to see if they can save any of our, hedges out front. But, yeah, are we gonna be starting to get tickets for parking in your driveway because your front door is at the sidewalk?
Well, wasn't the Bradford Creek specific to that subdivision, city manager?
Yeah, it was.
So that's-
That was just Bradford Creek, unless
Okay.
y'all call
So
them.
that's not a.
Yeah, unless you call them, either, yes, ma'am.
Good question.
Yep,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, anyone else?
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I'm going to talk about a topic you all heard about before. Oh, I'm sorry, my name is Ken Brown. I live at 432 New Hearth Circle, Winter Garden. I'm going to talk about a topic y'all are aware of because I know it's been brought before the commission before. And then at the end of my statement, I'll have a question. This has to do with my neighborhood. And by the way, for the record, I don't represent my HOA. I don't represent my neighborhood. I come here as a just private citizen, okay? So I don't represent any group. I live in, excuse me, I live in Oakland Estates, and we have one street that goes through the heart of our community, which is Hearth Glen Boulevard. It's a kind of a shortcut for the folks that are going from either Crest to Division or from Division to Crest. It serves all the folks that live over in the Crown Point area as a shortcut into Dillard, into that downtown, our part of even Highway 50. It's kind of a speedway. It also serves as an exit point for a large community behind us called Culverton Trace, or Culverton Trace or Culverton Estates, one of those two. Very large community. I attended our HOA meeting, and one of the board members said that there was a traffic study done on this on Hearth Glen Boulevard sometime in the past. And they did notice a lot of speeding cars. They actually had one car clocked at 60 miles an hour through our neighborhood. So, I know the HOA, I know some of the folks from our neighborhood have approached the council or commission before asking for maybe some speed humps on the road to try it as a traffic calming device. It hasn't really been addressed to yes or no. I know the HOA members have expressed to me that there's been some concerns from the city that it could impede emergency vehicles. That's not true. The street is as wide as the city streets where we have speed humps all over the place. It was also addressed that, well, it's in a neighborhood. We don't really want speed humps in the neighborhood or speed bumps in the neighborhood. That's not true also, because if you go to Corlelia Estates, there's speed bumps in that neighborhood. So before something terrible happens, because again, it's a straight shoot from Division to Crest or Crest to Division. It's an exit point to a very large neighborhood, also exiting their neighborhood. There's a lot of cars that are parked on the street. I walk my dog really early every morning, and it's scary sometimes because everybody wants to go to work, and they're using it as a speed way to get to work. So that's a little bit of history. Again, it shouldn't be new to any of y'all up here. I'm sure you've heard about this all before. So I guess my question is, what are y'all going to do about it?
Have we done the,
I don't know offhand when the last study was done, so I mean, we get so many of these studies, so I have to go back and pull the study and look at the results.
Can we look at that
Yeah.
and then get back with you on
Yeah.
that?
Would you all agree that a street through a heart of a neighborhood should be somehow enforced by, I've never seen a sheriff's officer out there. We have a stop sign that leaves our neighborhood onto Division. It's there just if you want to do something about it. You know, you can stop if you want to. And and that's another thing I'll bring up while I'm on the topic. The city did put a speed bump on Division going east. And it's a good one because that slows folks down before the crosswalk on the west, either you're on the West Orange Trail or you're going on the Lulu Creek Trail, right? What the city failed to do was to put one on the other side going from the east to the west. There's a hill that droops down Division. When you're coming out of our neighborhood, you don't have a lot of time to go into the Division before that car comes down the hill. It's kind of a blind spot. You can't really see those cars coming down. So I would recommend if the city looks at putting a speed bump like you did on the west, put one on the east, because when you leave our neighborhood in the morning, or anytime you leave our neighborhood, you have a lot of things to contend with. Number one, you've got the traffic on Division, right? But you also have the traffic on the West Orange Trail, on bicycles that are going really, really fast. So as you're exiting our neighborhood, you gotta watch for the bikes, you gotta watch for the walkers, and you gotta watch for the traffic.
Well, let them look and see if they can, when I study it, not,
Yeah.
come down and do that and see if we can address your problem.
I would
We've
agree.
got it all over town.
Well, you do,
People just won't
and
slow
you
down.
know, and there's, as you know, there's a plethora of traffic calming devices. You could put a three-way stop there, that stops folks, you know, coming through, you know, but again, it's discretion if you want to stop or not. The speed bumps work pretty well.
They do,
Unless you want to
depends
damage
on
your
the
car.
hypo.
Right,
They do it first.
yeah. So I really appreciate your time, thank you very much.
Do we have your name and phone number?
Yeah.
It's, yes, you do.
Okay, we got your name and phone number. We can call you
Thank you
back.
very much, I appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Did I see our scout raise his hand? You want to tell us your name and what you're doing?
Community service.
Come on up.
Does You're okay.
Pretty nice.
There we go. Just give us your name and, what?
Now you're an Eagle Scout.
So my name is Carnegie Schmidt, and I am doing a requirement for a merit badge. It's like come to like a council event or something for your city.
Very good. We thought maybe you just wanted to come.
Are we gonna see you again after this meeting, or?
Very good. So what do you think?
Not too bad.
Okay, we won't put you on the spot. Thank you for being here. Anyone else? Yeah. City attorney.
Yes, Mayor, Commissioners, just one item. With respect to the Garden Theater, as you know, it's closed and there's equipment and sound equipment and other matters relating to that. The city did have an agreement with them, and to make sure there's no question under the city charter, I would suggest that the commission give direction to the city manager as he sees fit, and he and I have talked about it, to wrap up matters with the Garden Theater, and up to, including his ability to expend up to his authorized amount to resolve that matter and any outstanding matters, working in concert with the city attorney.
So we need to resolve this so we get the doors open.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so a motion, if the commission's comfortable with that, a motion that would give direction to the city manager to wind up and resolve any and all remaining matters with the Garden Theater, up to his spending authority,
Okay.
would be an appropriate motion.
Do we have any questions from the commission? If not, we need a motion.
So moved as stated by the city attorney.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Thank you, and that's it, Mayor, Commissioners, thank you.
City manager.
Yes, sir. Apologies in advance, but on the dais, I put a proposal from Kudacom to upgrade our primary internet service provider. I'm going to be requesting approval to enter into a 5-year agreement with them to replace CenturyLink as our primary provider. Yesterday, we went live on some new CAD and RMS software with PD. And during that process, there were some throughput issues that were identified. We do have a current secondary provider with Spectrum, and they have made the transition over to them. But Kudacom would come in and provide us with I think it's a 1 gig, David's here to answer any of the technical, 1 gig internet service connection, which is about a factor of 10 improvement over what we currently have, and a factor of 5 over Spectrum. The 5-year agreement would produce a total savings for 1 line, and we do have 2 lines of $30,540. So you're looking at a total savings over a 5-year period of $61,080. And I'm happy to turn it over for any of the technical questions to David. Otherwise, staff would recommend approval.
Are there any questions from the commission?
That's 10 times a jump and it doesn't look like 10 times the price. Looks reasonable.
10 times the jump for savings of 60 grand, so.
Yes.
How does Kudacom work with Spectrum? Are they the,
Go ahead.
so, dumb it down.
Okay, so essentially you have 2 internet circuits. One goes down, the other one comes up. And so they have to be spread across different providers. Kudacom would replace CenturyLink as our primary
So they're a
provider.
service provider.
Yes, ma'am.
And if they go down, then we have Spectrum.
Then we have Spectrum to bring us back up. Exactly.
I've never heard of them before, but I trust you.
Yeah,
Are they doing it over fiber?
we are.
I think if you look, you'll probably see the chief smiling back there.
Good job getting the contract negotiated and saving us some money.
Yep. Any other questions? Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, motion carries unanimously.
Nothing further, sir.
Okay. Commissioner Bennett?
Oh, I'm first.
I thought I started calling last time, so I'm trying.
Thank you, staff, for all you do. That's, first of all. We have had a lot of requests for traffic calming, and I appreciate the fact that you've plugged in so quickly to, your new community. And, I don't remember hearing specifically from your HOA, so that's awesome. Because we don't know, unless someone tells us. But we've had a lot of those problems on the north side. I don't know how much in other districts, and I know we've done a lot of traffic studies. I was surprised to find that one of those speed bumps is $15,000.
Yep.
Yeah,
Me too.
so, yeah, we have to do the traffic studies first to make sure that it's warranted, number one, and to be fair and equal, because we've got a lot of other communities, that are asking too. We have people that hate them, it's outside their house and people are slowing down and they complain. Not so much anymore, but a lot of requests because we have to do something physical to get people to comply, it seems like. But anyway, thank you for coming. That's it.
Commissioner?
So on the same subject, I had a couple of people also talk about that in some of the areas in my district, as well as some people parking on the sidewalks or blocking driveways, and basically more on holidays. So we're always just trying to look into all those things and make it better. But thank you for coming, and 2 more things. These last 2 weeks, I had the opportunity to attend the police department recognition and also the fire department, and I just want to say thank you, and the people you guys have is amazing. I was very impressed with all the gentlemen from both departments and the work that you guys do. I thank you very much, and thank you to the city staff for everything you guys do.
Thank you to staff for all your hard work, and it's good to see all of our residents from all over the district to come and know what's going on and giving us your feedback. We all better together, so thank you guys for coming out to our meetings and know what's going on and keeping us up to date, so thank you guys.
I'm not gonna say anything because I know the Boy Scout wants to get home, and I do too.
Let me start my 30-minute speech. No, I just kind of want to echo, I had the pleasure, the honor of attending both the police and the fire award ceremony. And you take a lot of things for granted, but when you sit there, and particularly in the life-saving awards that went out, and understand what they go through, and the frame of mind that they have to be in and stay in, it's amazing. And it was just an honor to be there. I thought both of them did a great job, and they're having all the families there. Everybody was upbeat. It was positive, hardworking. We're blessed to have our chiefs in our city and the departments that they run. I want to tell y'all thank you very much, and pass that along to your people. Memorial Day is coming up this weekend. Remember all of our fallen soldiers, and come out to the Memorial Day service. And always, whenever we do that, I always think of Mr. Theo Graham, commissioner up here, who got that rolling, and we're always indebted to him for that. And we just left the Bloom and Grow ladies, and boy, did they have a crowd. A bunch of good ladies doing a lot of positive things for our community as they released 60 monarch butterflies, and it was just a very nice event also. With that, I will quit talking, and I hope everyone has a good evening.